Welcome back to Salud with Robert Gardner. I have a sampler coffee that I got from Lardera Coffee Roasters, and this was included with a order of Adagio tea, and I just saved these, decided to wait to sample them. As I went to look it up and look up the information, it looks like Adagio teas is sort of expanding in a, I would say, horizontal way, I think is how it's described in business. So, handmade artisan teas, coffee, small batch spices, and then raw varietal honey. It's kind of an interesting branch off for the company. But as I was looking up information about their different coffees, the stuff that's available, what we have today is the Catuaí honey, which is this right here. Complex blend of juicy clementines, tart cranberries, ripe pomegranate, hails from Don Mayo Micromill, among the oldest in Tarrazú region of Costa Rica, owned by Hector Bonilla and family. So yeah, it was just a, it says 57 grams, I think. So I think it's going to be enough just to have a single pot, but it'll be interesting to see how this coffee fares. They sent it in a small little sample bag like this, so I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to be. Let's brew it up, and well, actually, hold on, let me open up the smell first. Ooh, since we have a sealed bag, I don't know if this is how all their coffee is delivered, but it smells pretty good. Wow, it's got an interesting aroma. Deep, rich, earthy. Notes of like cinnamon. Almost reminds me of like French toast. Toasted bread. It's got a lovely nose. It also looks like on the website I can buy it in smaller quantities. I'll have to check and see. 2 ounces, for $2. It looks like I can sample it in small amounts to be able to try stuff. Geisha Couture washed. Very interesting. Looks like there's more to learn. But yeah, the nose on this is super, super nice. And I think this will give me enough just for a single pot so I can try this. I might be putting in an order after this. Wanted to head back to the website to check it out while the coffee was brewing. And there is a little bit of information on Lardera, Lardera, lardera.com. But when I click on this and you go to the coffee itself, there's a little bit more information, which is pretty interesting. Always good to see this. Clementines, tart cranberries, ripe pomegranate, Don Mayo micro mill. The Bonillas oversee the entire honey process from the harvesting of cherries to the milling of green coffee. The in-between steps involve an efficient and water-conserving mechanical washing of the cherries and the drying of the parchment on raised beds. I love this in particular. Meet the Farmer, Don Mayo, Pablo Bonilla, the Don Mayo Micromill. Even though we live in Los Santos, a privileged area for high quality coffee production, we have focused on every single detail of the whole process. At the farm level, we pay special attention to the health and nutrition of our plantations in order to enhance greater and better production and express the maximum quality potential of our crops. I will also say this gives, a fairly Like it feels like, small farm and focused, but Adagio is like a huge company. So I wonder about, um, I don't know, sustainability issues and other stuff with coffee. I find it really, really interesting to know that I can get like samples, for instance, which for me, as somebody who's doing reviews, it's kind of like thinking about the finance. I don't have to buy a whole pound. I can just buy samples, $3 samples of different coffees, which is really interesting, great for the review process. Allows me to sample something in a small amount. So let's go ahead and see if we can give this a pour. Again, as always, I'm going to try this black first, and then I'm going to add some cream. And if you want to pick up any of this equipment, the Chemex, I don't know if my coffee cup is listed. Even the shot glasses I put the cream in, all of that is available through Amazon. See if I can do this without spilling. I'm gonna give myself just enough to get a good taste there. And I spilled very little, just a drop. When I ground the beans, I did notice that more tart, sort of like cranberry, pomegranate, they mentioned, that sort of tart flavor coming through the nose. This is a fragrant and dark, I would say kind of complex, almost like nutty. Makes me think of like pecan shells, maybe. Oh yeah, very. It's not sour, I think, like the anaerobic Columbia that I was talking about from Super Thing here in Austin. But this is definitely tart and like berries, tart cherries, maybe. It's fruity, bright, maybe citrus notes, more like somewhere between lemon and lime. Very smooth, not a lot of bitter at all. Very, very smooth. I find it interesting how many of the coffees I have where I feel like I could drink them black, which is not usually my forte at all. But being able to have it in a way that was, I guess, the way nature intended, if you want to call it that. I don't know if nature intended us to smoke, grind up, roast beans, and drink the bean water. But anyway, um, very, very tart. That's the main flavor that I get out of it. I don't know if it's my favorite. There are other notes in coffee that I prefer. But let me go ahead and mix this with just pour the regular cup with some cream and see how this comes out. So interesting. I don't even know if someone gave this to me and I did a blind tasting. Would I even think this is coffee? It's so like bright and fruity. I don't think I've ever the anaerobic Colombian from Super Thing. I've never had a coffee that was that sour. Now I've never had a coffee that is this tart and bright. Like I think it's because it's so bright and fruity, but there's not a lot of bitter notes. Love adding cream to my coffee. And let's see how this goes. Is there any additional information? So $3 for 2 ounces. An 18-ounce bag is 24. I wonder what 18 ounces. Oh, you save a little bit. So tasting it in stages and being able to go from the coffee itself and then adding the cream, I can really pick up the nuances that the cream adds to the coffee. It rounds out any bitterness. Not that there was much to begin with, but now it's so interesting because I'm getting these. I don't know. It's so crazy. Like I don't think of coffee as being fruity that way. Maybe spices, dried fruit sometimes, but this is a very tart taste to it. Wow. Hmm. Well, looks like it's time to explore. So again, you can check them out at Lardera Coffee, or I'm sorry, Lardera.com. Looks like it's a branch of Adagio. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like some sort of horizontal integration into their business, being able to add new lines, which I'm a big fan of. We talk about business and marketing all the time, right? Offering new products and services. I think this was really, really great. It was very simply packaged in with my tea order, and I'll go ahead and probably order some more from them so I can sample them, especially since they're in small amounts that I can try out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, that's lardera.com. If you want to check out them or you want to pick up something on Amazon, whatever, just look at the links down below here on the YouTube video. I'll see you guys again soon on Salud with Robert Gardner. Appreciate you.